Hey everybody, what's up? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from the Black Wealth Boot Camp, and I wanted to talk for a second about this story that I just saw in the news that I really wanted to comment on. I was on my way back from New York. I went there to shoot Financial Lovemaking, a movie that we have coming out pretty soon. I was on the Breakfast Club. I was on there with Scarface, and they didn't run my interview yet, but maybe they'll run it eventually. I don't know. But either way, it was a lot of fun. It was cool to meet Scarface. I've always been a fan of his, and he's a nice dude. But anyway, here's what I wanted to jump into. There was this controversy about that involved an NFL player, James Harrison, who's a linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Harrison basically got some backlash and some praise, depending on which side you were on, for forcing his 6 and 8 year old son to give back these trophies they received for participation in a sport. You know how nowadays, kids get trophies for doing nothing basically, and he said that's my kid. Those aren't going to be my kids because I don't think it's good for their long-term development. And more specifically, what Harrison said was that he said, while I'm proud of my boys for everything they do and will encourage them till the day I die, these trophies were given back until they earn a real trophy. He said it on Instagram. I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry for believing that everything in life should be earned, and I'm not about to raise two boys to be men by making them believe that they are entitled to something just because they tried their best. And I will just make it very plain, very, very, very clear. I love that. I think that that's absolutely positively the right way to approach the situation. I think that developing a child's self-esteem is very, very important. If they don't succeed at what they do, I think it makes no sense to always give them a trophy just because they tried to win the game or because they tried to win the race. I think it's better to say, you didn't win this time. This is where you fell short. But here's how you can win. Here's the carrot that's out here for you if you keep improving, if you keep working hard, and you keep getting better. When you give them the shortcut to success, your child will probably be a weak failure for most of their life. If you give a child a wheelchair at birth, they will never take the time to learn how to walk. And it really actually fits into something, a financial lovemaking concept that I talked to Tia Brown about this weekend. She's my partner on this. I said it makes me think about something that I call emotional credit cards. Imagine if somebody says, I really wanted to get a car, but I didn't work hard enough to buy a car, and I didn't save enough. I had the money, but I didn't save it, and but I really wanted to have a car, and I'm really disappointed I couldn't get one. Well, you could come up and say, well, here's a credit card. Here, just buy you a car. Buy you a car. You'll be fine. Use whenever you come up short, whenever you don't save, whenever you don't want to work for the money, just buy it on a credit card. You're good. You're good. Well, what's going to happen? I mean, eventually the credit card is going to be filled with debt, and the person's going to eventually have to pay the piper. There's eventually going to be some agony related to their desire for short-term gratification, their inability to delay gratification, their inability to work for the things that they want. There will be a huge price to pay, and it's going to be very, very painful, much more painful than it would have been to learn how to work and earn the things that you get that you want to buy when you buy them. So, well, sometimes we do that with our children. We give them emotional credit cards. An emotional credit card is I don't want the baby to cry because I know that he worked so hard to try to win the race and he lost. So I want to get him a trophy so that he'll still feel as good as he would have felt if he'd won. And you keep doing that, and you're constantly rewarding your child when they didn't earn the things that they were rewarding. It extends to other things. My child, she asked me, my baby asked me for a new car, and I don't, she cried, and I don't want her to have to work to get a car, or she worked hard and she only saved $200, but I'm gonna go ahead and buy her, the Mercedes for her 16th birthday or whatever. I don't think that that's good for the child's development because eventually what happens is they get into the real world and they find out that nobody gives a damn about your feelings. The real world does not give a shit if you go home and cry every night because things didn't work out for you. The real world will kick you in your ass if you don't come with it every single time and keep coming with it every time you don't get what you want. That's something that people have to learn, especially men, especially black men, because the odds are so stacked up against us when it comes to economic success, especially. There are pathways that are clear sometimes for black women and gay men because they're less threatening. Sometimes white men are more attracted to them. Black men are considered to be competition, especially if he holds his chin up and his chest out and his head high. If he has pride and intelligence and some sort of dignified resistance to the typical oppression that occurs in corporate America, he's probably going to get booted out. Black men can be threats just by being in the room, especially those of us who might be big and have muscles and a lot of intelligence intelligence and all these other things. So it's really, really hard when you are a black man and you worked hard, you did your best, you went to school, you made good grades, you go apply for the corporate job, and they tell you to get your black ass out. They tell you that they're not interested in you. They don't want anything to do with you for whatever reason. You don't know why. Well, in those situations when men get hit in the head with life, when they get hit in the head with the economic realities of being a black man in America, the last thing you want him to do is go home and cry like a little punk. The last thing you need a black man to do is to give up and to feel sorry for himself his entire life. The last thing you need him to do is to say, well, the reason I sit home in my drawers and smoke weed every day is because it's just so hard out here for a black man. It's all the police are mean to me, mama, I applied for the job and I didn't get it. And I hear it all the time. I hear mothers that will say, well, he's trying, he's doing his best, but it just ain't working out, and that's why he's not paying the child support, and that's why he. But no, 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 that's not manhood. And that's why I get so angry about us acting like fathers don't matter in the household. You see, the liberals, the white liberals, got your head all messed up. They got you thinking daddies don't matter, that boys don't need to be raised to be men, that they can be thrown out into the world as little punks and still be okay. No, that's not going to work. I'm gonna give you an example, and I'm not putting my own father on a pedestal at all, in terms of him being better than other people. But I can say this: my father, as perfect and imperfect as he wasn't a perfect. When I talk about my father, I'm talking about the father who raised me, not the one who donated the sperm. Um, the father that raised me. One of the key things I learned from my father was no matter how hard it is for you as a man, you have an obligation to take care of your family. You do whatever you got to do. You get your ass back out in the streets and you go find you a job and you go get that money. You don't do anything illegal because engaging in illegal behavior will get you in trouble and cause you to have to leave your family when they take you to jail. So it wasn't like he was saying go out and kill people and sling dope, but he was saying you get out there and hustle. If you got to go out here and sweep the streets and pick up trash, you get out here and hustle. You do what you got to do to get what it is that you feel like you need for your family. And I think that James Harrison's lessons to his his sons, I think, it fits into that category. It fits into the message a strong father gives to a son that says, "Son, I know it's not hard. I know it's not easy. I know that you tried your best and you didn't win, and I know you're upset right now. But this pain will make you stronger if you internalize it in the right way. So no, you're not going to get a trophy now, and I know you might be upset about it, and I want you to go ahead and be upset about it for a while. It's going to hurt your feelings, but after you finish crying about it, after you finish being mad or upset or whatever, you come back to me and let's work on stepping your game up, making you a little stronger, a little tougher, a little more capable, so that eventually you will get that trophy." That is the natural evolution of life. Sometimes our politics gets us to the point where we really disrupt nature's plan for all of us. The way things work in the wilderness with animals. The lazy, fat, slow, sloppy animal who can't hunt for himself dies. He does not get to mate. The women don't want to sleep with him because he don't know how to go out and get food. He doesn't know how to compete with the other animals. That's nature. That's not politics. That's nature. So sometimes politics causes us to deviate from nature. So my final point on this is very, very simple. I like what James said. If those were my boys, I'd do the same thing. Be like, take that weak ass trophy and that meaningless piece of crap, throw it in the garbage, and let your daddy teach you how to earn something that's real, to earn something that actually has meaningful value. That's all I really want to say about this. I congratulate this brother on this. I love it. These are actually some of the principles that I communicate in the 8 principles of black male empowerment, which is something you can buy. You can go get it at store.yourblackworld.net if that's something you want for your son or for yourself or whatever. I really believe in this world, especially for black men, you got to teach them how to be men. And if you got that boy in your house and you're not teaching him how to be a man, then guess what? He's going to become some woman's worst nightmare because he will never take responsibility for his outcomes. He'll always think he's supposed to get the trophy, even if he didn't do the work. And that's not going to help any of us. All right, well, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World. Please take care. And by the way, if you want to take a finance class from me, I'm teaching at the blackwealthbootcamp.com. A lot of people seem to really like it. I think you might gain something from it as well. So take care. God bless. I'm gone. Peace.